All right, join with me today is Valley Flying, and we're going to talk about the six-star Phoenix controversy. My goodness, Reddit's on fire. Don't you agree?
They should be on fire. I'm mad, but I guess we're gonna keep it concise and civil.
Yeah. So there's definitely some issues to be discussed here, and I want to be as objective as possible. Let's talk about the facts and actually what has happened, right?
Yes.
Last week, you and I both made videos about the Phoenix coming out, right? What can you say that we knew about Phoenix at that time?
Mystic villain controllers, which is kind of weird, but whatever. And I think most people figured she would be a 5-star unlock just based on their previous history and some of the data that we've seen, correct?
Right. Well, not only did the footage, and you can kind of see it right here above me, right here, all the footage showed a 5-star Phoenix, which is in alignment with every legendary character that's come out, that they've all been 5 stars. And then there was also, for a 2-hour period, an oopsie after the patch came out, they're in-game, both Phoenix and actually Cyclops was in the game, and Phoenix was showing as a 310 5-star unlock, right?
5, yes.
Okay,
so
which is fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. We kind of expected that. So then this is where it gets tricky. After that, Cyclops came to the game, right? Or Psylocke came to the game.
Psylocke.
And I'm looking pretty good with my requirements. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I'm guaranteed to get a 5-star unlock on Phoenix. So, and the footage that they gave us made it look amazing with the synergy. And we were told that this was going to be the best arena team in the game. So I went out and bought Psylocke. Did you buy Psylocke?
I did.
Expecting
for
you were
the
going to
same
unlock
reason
the
that you
5-star
did.
Phoenix?
Yes.
Yes, right?
I wanted to try out that X-Men team. They look good on paper. I wanted to try them out.
I was pretty much guaranteed to get a 5-star because of the way I had a 5-star, hand sentry, right? Because the requirements were kind of weird. Hand assassin, Loki, Mordo, Nobu, Ronan the Accuser. It's like a lot of people are short on Nobu. Some people are short on hand assassin. And, I was like, I have all of these at least 5 stars.
Some people are having trouble farming Loki as well.
Yeah, and Loki, okay. So I was like, cool. I'm going to buy this character. Now, there was also a second group of people that probably had, let's say, like 4-star Hand Assassin or a 4-star Nobu, and they started buying shards, trying to get them up to 5 stars, doing refreshes every day. That actually
sounds logical. I would do the same if I was in that position.
Yeah, it's logical because we knew we were going to need these 5 characters.
Yes.
Okay. Then, also this week, some screenshots came out where the farming nodes for Mystic, what is this, 3-5? Yeah, Mystic 3-4. People started noticing that the game before, you can see right here, Hand Assassin, 33,000. You can see Spider-Man, 35,000. And this was before the patch, like a couple weeks ago. And then today, in-game, 42,000.
I think this is right when the patch dropped. I think this is right when the
patch hit. Yes, in-game right now, 45,000. This entire node got drastically harder in a stealth buff because people are now scrambling to farm these 5. They need to get to the Mystic campaign node, and it's a lot more difficult. So those are all things that actually happened. Like, these are factual things that actually happened.
Yes.
And lastly, also facts, things that actually happened, is a blog post from August of last year. So
August
summer
31st, 2018.
Yes. There's a blog post by the developers. It's still up on their website, specifically talking about stealth buffs and the annoyance of the Kree requirement for shield. They actually addressed those 2 issues very specifically, and we got to read their comments at literal face value. Under the heading of consistent value and rewards, it says
here. Let me set this up real quick because I don't think a lot of people remember. I didn't remember myself until I read this. The reason for this was because they were nerfing the raids, the rewards for the raids. So Deadpool, it was just as hard, and they were giving less rewards. And this was the response, guys.
Go ahead and read it.
All right. Our goal going forward is to keep the rewards and difficulty as consistent as possible. And if and when the game balance does require change, we will be sure to communicate that clearly in advance.
Okay. So we are obviously looking at screenshots of that not happening.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
It gets better because a lot of people are pretty upset about Hand Assassin and Nobu. I want to say that Loki and Mordo are useful characters, and Ronin is also useful. Now, there is a place for Hand, and there is a total of 7 Hand in the game, and I would say that, where would you put Nobu? On the bottom half?
I would put him in the middle. Those summons are pretty
He's in the middle.
Good, yeah, but his counters, it's not that great.
Now,
he's okay.
Hand Assassin, along with Blade Master, had been perceived as being the 2 worst hand minions.
Perceived correctly, by the way.
Perceived correctly. Okay, yes. So they're that was kind of the complaint about the Kree minions before they got their buff, is that they were not good. And I think a lot of people didn't farm the Hand Assassin because all of the other choices were better. And I wouldn't even put Hand. What is maybe it's a C team at best right now? If on the
where are you
A
going to use
through
him
D, where would you put it? D?
Probably.
C?
Where are you going to use them? You're going to use them in Blitz and for their event, the Relic Hunter event. That's it.
I don't want to say they're a D team, but they're definitely a C team. A D team would be like mismatched Hydra, or there is definitely some synergy there with Hand, but it's not great.
Yeah.
So this also happened right here. They're talking about the Kree minions, specifically talking about how they're going to fix this problem of the Kree minions just not being great. In the longer term, we're committing to making
guys,
sure characters needed for legendary events are also relevant outside of the legendary event.
Is that?
And they talk about what they're going to do. Now, none of that is happening. Are you going to use your
Hand Assassin outside of this legendary event?
Yeah. Okay. Now there are other reasons why people are upset, and I want to give credit to where credit's due, because I play another game called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and let me just pitch it to you this way. Imagine the Phoenix event went down like this, because it relates to the other game. First off, you get 1 day notice to get the best character in the game, and the event is going to last for 3 days. So you get 1 day notice, and the event's going to last for 3 days. Not only is it a 6-star unlock, requires a 6-star, but they're also going to require all the characters to unlock Phoenix to be at Gear 13.
Oh.
Okay, Gear 13. Now, something that is also true about the Phoenix and this other event that I'm talking about is there are going to be special pieces required to gear her up, which is true for Phoenix and all of his X-Men, which is kind of terrible. The event is going to be very difficult, which means if you have 6-star, these characters right here, the event will maybe take 7 or 8 hours to finish and be completely random.
Jeez.
And if you have 7 stars, it'll be a little bit easier, maybe only take 2 or 3 hours to unlock. After the character comes out, we don't feel the character is strong enough because Nick Fury and Magneto can still beat this team. So we're going to have to nerf Nick Fury and Magneto to ensure that Phoenix is the dominant thing. I got to give them some props for at least giving us, a heads up that this is happening.
Not being as bad as EA. I mean, geez,
no, I know, right? I can't believe it, right?
Next.
1 day notice, 3 day event.
My goodness.
Ridiculous, worse requirements than this event. So, and I got to tell you, it's like I don't necessarily have a problem with characters being hard to get or exclusive. And do you agree with me on this? That if they would have said on the day that we released those videos that we found out about the Phoenix and we found out about these requirements, they said this is going to be the best character in the game. Now it's going to be 6 stars. Would you even have a problem with any of this?
I wouldn't. I totally forgot about their what they said in the past, so I wouldn't have looked back on it. But I wouldn't have. It's a little harder. I would grind, but now because of this goalpost shifting, it doesn't feel good. I'm not happy. I'm smiling because I'm so frustrated about it, but I'm very upset about this. But if they did this last week,
so what do you think they should do about all this?
geez, what can they do? Can they roll this back and say, all right, due to the community outrage, we're going to bring this back to 5 stars? I mean, I don't know if that's the right thing, because it kind of sets a precedent every time people pissed off. I don't know if they could leave it like this. I mean, what are their options at this point to get some goodwill, because they're really using up a lot of it for
and the thing about all of it is, like, I'm not really sure that it being 5 or 6 stars is the real issue. My issue is that I bought things. I bought Psylocke thinking that I was going to get a 5-star Phoenix, and maybe now I'm not going to get a 5-star Phoenix. I'm like 95 shards short on my Hand Assassin, so maybe I wasted money on this. What about you?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get her, but right now I'm not spending any more money. I don't trust Fox Next enough. I still like the game. I'm going to play it. And when I say I don't trust Fox Next, I don't trust those higher ups, right? Because there's a lot of people that do.
I'm just
great
saying
jobs,
that anybody that purchased Psylocke should have the option of getting a refund at a minimum, because people bought that character, seeing the synergies and how that they worked in that team. And then secondly, anybody that spent money on refreshes trying to get, Nobu or Hand Assassin up to 5 stars, let's say you had like a 4.5 star or 4.3, those people should be given compensation too, because they were spending crystals on refreshes based on, I need to hurry and get a 5 star. Well, now it's been pushed to 6 star. And then this needs to end right now. Stealth buffs have to end absolutely. They said in August that they were going to stop doing the stealth buffs. It is unacceptable. When they even said that they were going to stop doing in their last post, they said they were going to notify us. And this is complete nonsense right here, the stealth buffs, because it's even worse than the beta raid, right? Tell me what's going on with the beta raid in your guild.
All right, so Monday, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, we 100%ed the beta raids. It was hard. I had to spend a bunch of health packs to refresh my guys. I didn't have to spend any cores. Yesterday, I spent a bunch of cores, spent a bunch of health packs. A lot of people in my guild also did that. We got to about 80%. And we were wondering what the heck happened. I see a post on Reddit that details it pretty in depth, that they also been buffing this beta raids. Not just from when it came out, because it sucked, but we kind of knew that. In the middle of the raid. It makes no sense. I don't know why they're doing this stuff. It's obviously greed, but at what cost?
I don't have a problem with things being exclusive or hard to get, and I don't think everybody should get everything the first time around. I think that that's the nature of these type of hero collector games, is that, if you want to be first and get something exclusive, there's usually a premium, a cost to play. If you want to save time or be first in the arena, there's there's a cost. Not everything is supposed to be free. So I'm okay with things being 5 or 6 stars.
I agree. I
think that would have been appropriate if we were told in advance, when this was announced, it's going to be 6 star, but no, it was 5 star, a week passed, and it was 6 star. So I think there's got to be 2 things. I want 2 things to happen. Anybody that spent money based on the information that came out a week ago, whether it's they bought Psylocke or they spent refreshes, need to have some sort of compensation. And secondly, all I really want is to do what they said they were going to do in their post back in August.
Yes.
If they're going to do stealth buffs, they need to communicate them with us, because they said they were going to in this post. And secondly, they also made a commitment to the effectiveness of requirements for legendary events. So I'm demanding a buff to Hand Assassin and Nobu. I think that's what I just want them to do what their own post said. I think that's reasonable, right?
I would agree. Okay, I couldn't think of a solution. That's a good solution. I would be happy with that. I wouldn't feel as bad. They need to do something to generate some goodwill, because the feeling is so negative and there's no transparency right now. I think that is a part of the problem as well. I want more transparency.
And I don't necessarily, I'm not proposing that they make it a 5-star unlock. That's not what I'm saying. I'm sure there's a lot of people that think that, but they need to make it right. They need to at least compensate people that spent money thinking it was going to be 5 stars, and they need to at least do what their post back in August said. So
at the very minimum, do what you say you're gonna do. That's it. Jeez.
Right. So anyways, I think we're gonna wrap up the video there. Please, put down in the comments section if you have any other thoughts. I'm sure we didn't discuss everything, but if you have different thoughts about this event, and the way that it's being rolled out. There's still two things we don't know. We don't know how difficult the event is really going to be. We don't know if it's going to be easy. How much Red Stars is going to play into that? That is still to be seen, and we'll see. We also don't know how truly hard it's going to be to get those gear pieces above gear 10. I mean, it seems like it's pretty random right now, but that's kind of frustrating. They're just
available in the arena store and the war store. That's the only place you get in those boxes. So you can't even guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely challenging. So be sure to check out Valley Flying's channel. We did a different video over there talking about similar stuff. And anything you want to say before we go?
That's it. Yeah, come on, Fox Next. Do what you say you're going to do. That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching and keep on gaming.